Hi boys and girls, Mrs. Baker here. Today I'm going to talk to you about three-dimensional shapes and how to find the faces, the edges, and the vertices of some of those shapes. To do that, I'm going to show you by using a rectangular prism. The rules that we talk about for this shape are going to be the same rules you're going to use for all of the other three-dimensional shapes that you have in your packet. The first thing we are going to look for are the faces. Now, as I turn it, you might be thinking, well, Mrs. Baker, I don't see any eyes or a nose or a mouth or ears. And I would have to tell you, good, that'd be kind of scary holding that, because the face of a three-dimensional shape is not like the face that we have on our body. The face of a three-dimensional shape are the flat parts. The flat parts are going to make the shapes that we learned about for the two-dimensional shapes. So as I'm holding this right here, this is a flat part, and you could see that's in the shape of a rectangle. If I were to stamp this in an ink pad and put it on your Sammy charts, it would be in the shape of a rectangle. It's a flat piece. That makes it a face. So on our rectangular prism, we're going to count all of these flat rectangular pieces as faces. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 rectangular faces, but the ends also are flat. And if I were to stamp this side, it would be in the shape of a square. So not only does it have 4 rectangular faces, but it also has 2 square faces, which means it has 6 faces altogether. The next thing you're going to need to count are the edges, and the edges are where those faces come together to make these straight lines. The edges are kind of tricky to count. You might lose track, so having a grown-up beside you might be helpful. So I'm going to show you how to count them on this rectangular prism, and I'm going to run my finger across each edge. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So our rectangular prism has 12 edges, 12 places where those faces meet. The next thing you need to look for are the vertices, and the vertices are where the edges meet. So they're going to make the points, 2 edges meet, they're going to make the points of your shapes, okay? Now it can't just be any point, it has to be where those edges, the straight flat lines, meet. So when I count them, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This three-dimensional shape has 8 vertices, 8 places where the edges come together. So, to summarize, our rectangular prism has 6 faces or flat parts, 12 edges or straight lines where the faces meet, and 8 vertices or 8 places where the edges meet, 8 corners. So as you work through your packet, remember those rules that we talked about with the rectangular prism. And if you get stuck, reach out to your teacher. She would be more than willing to help you. I hope this helps. Bye.